Okay, getting ready to do the stream here in a second. Waiting for everything to kick in, and I'm going to do my audio test. Then I will put some music on for background music until the show starts at the beginning of the hour. First, I'm going to check the audio out on Beamstream. Make sure it sounds good. It sounds good on Beam. Let's go to my content on Rumble. See what this sounds like. All right. Well, sounds good on Rumble. Got to hit refresh on X, of course, as usual. Let's see what it sounds good on X. And now checking the audio out on D Live. Sounds good on D Live. Sounds good on Twitch. Now Twitch does not have a recorded, or it's not going to have have a recording done when it's started. So just want to let everybody know that I switched it around on there so that I don't have any videos that are stored onto it. They've made some changes here recently with they started a new storage limit basically, and now it includes highlights as well as actual video. So they've said they're introducing a 100-hour storage limit on highlights, and it uploads together. So yeah, we can't be doing that. It's just Twitch is just basically gone to a whole new level of retardation. I'm actually to the point where I'm almost debating on just deleting my account and not using Twitch at all whatsoever. It's about as worthless as a tick on a freaking donkey's ass, to be serious. So, with that being said, there will be no copies of any video for Twitch from this point on. If you want to watch any of my shows, you'll have to watch it live. But other than that, I'm not wasting my time on doing that stuff. It took me forever to just figure out how to do highlights, and I'm just not there. I'm not cool with it. So without any further ado, no more rants about Twitch for now, not until later. I'm going to continue my audio sound check on Kick. Kick sounds good. And now, and so does YouTube. So what I'm going to be doing now is going to my WWOW Talk tonight. That's what tonight's going to be about. And I think it's actually doing pretty good, to be honest with you. I have been going through the Germanic, Nordic, and Indo-European lore. We've actually gotten quite a bit of that taken care of, and now I am coming pretty close to the end of what I have been wanting to cover. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on some background music for you for a while. I'm going to come back in another 15 minutes and start the show. And then we can actually start the show and be on topic. But that's basically what the topic is about. It's about Germanic, Nordic, and Indo-European lore. I've been doing a bit about that. It's something that I've been wanting to do for quite a while, and now I'm finally doing it. So hope you guys enjoy, and like I said, I'll be right back to start the show and everything. I'm going to try to put something on here that's long, and then we can have it on loop. That way it doesn't go off, and I'll come back and get the show started when I'm done. So let's do Echoes of Atlantis by Mr. Robot.
Once the gods carved earth like a cosmic chessboard, Poseidon claimed Atlantis, his star-born accord. 10 twin suns, throne of tridents waits at his command. Empire stretched from bow, big stones to Mayan sand. Monolith stacked like Legos blocks no crane could lift. Sonic levitation, gods don't need pulleys or grit. Athena taught Athens, Hephaestus forged veins of gold, but Atlantis spires pierced heaven, stories untold. Is of virtue, divine blood pure in the veins. No egregious geodesic temples where scarlet reigns, but mortality crept in, diluted the grace. Gold turned to rust, hubris eclipsed the god fast.
Of Atlantis, drowned in the deep. Poseidon's lost kingdom, where titans still sleep. From these that touch your water, cold to cold, section all as above, so below. Cosmic empire of modern princes, of plasma, their thrones now debris. Echoes of Atlantis, where gods walked the sea.
Watch the fall, saw vice crack the divine. Pyramids hummed warnings, but they ignored the signs. Sky split with fury, tsunami swallowed their pride. Atlantis sang screaming, but blueprints survived. Arbeck's foundation, stones that defy modern math. 1,000-ton puzzle, gravity's aftermath. Scholars still baffled how they align the stars. They rode cosmic currents, breaching space-time's bars. Now divers chase shadows, where crystal cities gleamed. AI scans the ocean, but truth a half-dream. Dream Freemasons whisper maps in their lodges of lore. Plato's Critias, a metaphor or a war.
Echoes of Atlantis, drowned in the deep. Poseidon's lost kingdom, where titans still sleep. From Egypt to Tijuana, to cold, tension all as above, so below. Cosmic empire of laws and princes of plasma, their thrones now debris. Echoes of Atlantis, where gods walk the sea.
They say Poseidon's seed still flows in our veins. In every megalith, every grid that restrains. The Dogon chart Sirius, temples guard the flame. But Atlantis tech, it's encoded in our DNA's frame. Zeus's verdict was fire, a flood and ice. Yet the Sphinx still stares, whispering sacrifice. Mortal minds crave power, but miss the design. True kings rule through resonance, not bloodline. Now decode the ruins, their psalms etched in stone. A star-born king's empire, now dust and bone. The hall of records buried neath Giza's cold gaze holds anti-gravity schematics from pre-flood days. Crystal engines hummed, organ fueled their might, till pride turned their frequencies dissonant blight. The Anunnaki fled, Mars colonies crumbled. Leviathan's bones in the Mariana rumbled. But Poseidon's ghost rides the Bermuda's mist. Evolve past the greed or drown in the abyss. Tsunamis taller than gods, crack continents like eggs. Jungles of Egypt drowned, turned to sand in Poseidon's regret. Mammals shrunk to lapdogs, skies choked by volcanic breath. Waves circled the globe thrice, 3 funerals for death. Up Nepiston, rode the arc of frequencies, not wood. Up tetrahedron ziggurat where anti-grav pulses stood. While Atlantis sank, he spliced DNA and quantum seeds, stashed them in Göbekley's veins and Indus Valley reeds. Volcanic winter's curse, Zeus hit the reset. Scorched the grids, erased the moon-ringed internet. Noah's not a shepherd, he's a star-born archivist. Cracking hermetic scrolls in caves where mushrooms twist. The survivors crawl from mud with amnesiac eyes. Built new gods from scrap metal and fallen skies. Now desert bones whisper where cedars once soared. Man's just a ghost in Atlantis' holographic horde. wasn't water, it was math. A codex purged, Enoch's nightmares digitized in the cosmic surge. As above, so below, the blueprint stays true. Rise from the ashes or drown in what's new. The flood wasn't water, it was math. A codex purged, Enoch's nightmares digitized in the cosmic surge. As above, so below, the blueprint stays true. Rise from the ashes or drown in what's you. Echoes of Atlantis drowned in the deep, the deep. Poseidon's lost kingdom where titans still sleep. From Giza to Tiahuanaco, their codes etched in awe. As above, so below, cosmic empire of law. 10 princes of plasma, their thrones now debris. Echoes of Atlantis, where gods walk the sea. So when you see Stonehenge, Angkor Wat spire, know Atlantis lives in the quantum choir. The gods were myths, their mentors in code. Rise from the ashes, or repeat what they owe. Once the gods carved earth like a cosmic chessboard, Poseidon claimed Atlantis, his starborn accord. 10 twin suns, throne of tridents waits at his command. Empire stretched from bow, big stones to Mayan sand. Monolith stacked like Legos blocks no crane could lift. Sonic levitation, gods don't need pulleys or grit. Athena taught Athens, Hephaestus forged veins of gold. But Atlantis spires pierced heaven, stories untold. Years of virtue, divine blood pure in the veins. No egregious geodesic temples where scarlet reigns. But mortality crept in, diluted the grace. Gold turned to rust, hubris eclipsed the god fast.
Of Atlantis, drowned in the deep. Poseidon's lost kingdom, where titans still sleep. From Giza to Tiahuanaco, the codes etched in awe. As above, so below, cosmic empire of law. And princes of plasma, their thrones now debris. Echoes of Atlantis, where gods walked the sea.
Watch the fall, saw vice crack the divine. Pyramids hummed warnings, but they ignored the signs. Sky split with fury, tsunami swallowed their pride. Atlantis sang screaming, but blueprints survived. Complex foundation, stones that defy modern math. 1,000-ton puzzle, gravity's aftermath. Scholars still baffled how they align the stars. They rode cosmic currents, breaching space-time's bars. Now divers chase shadows, where crystal cities gleamed. AI scans the ocean, but truth a half-dream. Dream three misses whisper maps in their launches of lore. Plato's Critics, a metaphor or a war.
Echoes of Atlantis, drowned in the deep. Poseidon's lost kingdom, where titans still sleep. From Giza to Tiahuanaco, the codes etched in awe. As above, so below, cosmic empire of laws. And princes of plasma, their thrones now debris. Echoes of Atlantis, where gods walk the sea.
They say Poseidon's seed still flows in our veins. In every megalith, every grid that restrains. The Dogon chart Sirius, Templars guard the flame. But Atlantis tech, it's encoded in our DNA's frame. Zeus's verdict was fire, a flood and ice. Yet the Sphinx still stares, whispering sacrifice. Mortal minds crave power, but miss the design. True kings rule through resonance, not bloodline. Now decode the ruins, their psalms etched in stone. A star-born king's empire, now dust and bone. The hall of records buried neath Giza's cold gaze holds anti-gravity schematics from pre-flood days. Crystal engines hummed, organ fueled their might, till pride turned their frequencies dissonant blight. The Anunnaki fled, Mars colonies crumbled. Leviathan's bones and the Mariana rumbled. But Poseidon's ghost rides the Bermuda's mist. Evolve past the greed or drown in the abyss. Tsunamis taller than gods crack continents like eggs. Jungles of Egypt drowned, turned to sand in Poseidon's regret. Mammals shrunk to lapdogs, skies choked by volcanic breath. Waves circled the globe thrice, 3 funerals for death. Up Nepiston, rode the arc of frequencies, not wood. Up tetrahedron ziggurat where anti-grav pulses stood. While Atlantis sank, he spliced DNA and quantum seeds. Stashed them in Göbekley's veins and Indus Valley reeds. Volcanic winter's curse. Zeus hit the reset, scorched the grids, erased the moon ringed internet. Noah's not a shepherd, he's a star-born archivist. Cracking hermetic scrolls in caves where mushrooms twist. The survivors crawl from mud with amnesiac eyes. Built new gods from scrap metal and fallen skies. Now desert bones whisper where cedars once soared. Man's just a ghost in Atlantis' holographic horde. Wasn't water, it was math, a codex purge. Enoch's nightmares digitized in the cosmic surge. As above, so below, the blueprint stays true. Rise from the ashes or drown in what's new.
The flood wasn't water, it was math, a codex purge. Enoch's nightmares digitized in the cosmic surge. As above, so below, the blueprint stays true. Rise from the ashes or drown in what's new. Echoes of Atlantis drowned in the deep. Poseidon's lost kingdom where titans still sleep. From Giza to Tijuana, their codes etched in awe. As above, so below, cosmic empire of war. 10 princes of plasma, their thrones now debris. Echoes of Atlantis, where gods walk the sea. So when you see Stonehenge, Angkor spire, know Atlantis lives in quantum choir. The gods were missed, their mentors and code. Rise from the ashes, or repeat what they owe.
Once the gods carved earth like a cosmic chessboard, Poseidon claimed Atlantis, his star-born accord. 10 twin suns, throne of Tridents waves at his command. Empire stretched from big stones to Mayan sand. Monoliths stacked like Legos blocks no grain could lift. Sonic levitation, gods don't need pulleys or grit. Athena taught Athens, Hephaestus forged veins of gold. But Atlantis spires pierced heaven, stories untold. Is a virtue, divine blood pure in the veins. No egregious geodesic temples where starlight reigns. But mortality crept in, diluted the grace. Turned to rust, hubris eclipsed the god fast.
Echoes of Atlantis
kingdom where titans still sleep. From these to Monaco, the cold section, all as above, so below. Cosmic empire of laws and princes of plasma, their thrones now debris. Echoes of Atlantis, where gods walked the sea.
Watch the fall, saw vice crack the divine. Pyramids hummed warnings, but they ignored the signs. Sky split with fury, tsunami swallowed their pride. Atlantis sang screaming, but blueprints survived. Arbex foundation, stones that defy modern math. 1,000-ton puzzle, gravity's aftermath. Scholars still baffled how they align the stars. They rode cosmic currents, breaching space-time's bars. Now divers chase shadows, where crystal cities gleamed. AI scans the ocean, but truth a half-dream. Dream, three misses whisper maps in their launches of lore. Plato's Critias, a metaphor or a war.
Echoes of Atlantis drowned in the deep. Poseidon's lost kingdom where titans still sleep. From Egypt to Monaco, the cold tension, all as above, so below. Cosmic empire of laws and princes of plasma, their thrones now debris.
All right. So tonight I am going to be doing WWOW Talk. So it's going to be starting in 1 minute. At this point, I have everything ready, so it's time to go. So with that being said, let's do this. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of WWOW Talk. This is Roger Hanson, and I am here to continue where I left off on the topic of Germanic, Nordic, and Indo-European lore. Now, last week, I had started going through some of the names that with the meanings of names that were associated with old Hungarian mythological content and names of leaders of the old Hungarian names. Ugig was one of them, and that was the one I left off on. Now, after that, I wanted to stop and go hold off before I went further. It wasn't because of the next name in particular, but it was this part of the story really takes a fascinating turn, basically. Not really a turn, but it goes in a direction that's pretty good, and I thought it would be good for starting out with a topic or going in a direction that was interesting. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I guess the best thing for me to do is to get started with the story. Now, I have been having some issues too in real life concerning my mom. I take care of my elderly parents, and there could be a chance that while I'm in the middle of stream that I would have to put on some more music and then step away from the stream for a little while so that I could take care of some issues. But other than that, it should be running as good as possible. Also, I want to mention that Dragus Production is going to be starting their stream here in a little while. So if you guys have a chance, catch their shows afterwards and check them out. They have Censorship Sucks, which you can find on a lot of different platforms. They're on Beam, Rumble. You can find them on DLive as well as on Twitch and Kick. They don't do YouTube, but you can find them on those platforms. I haven't seen them on X, but I know they post on X, so you can find their posts on X as well. Um, Other than that, there is also WPRMP, which you can. I always mess that name up too, so there could be WPRPN. Yeah, that's what it is. You can find them on D Live. That's a good place to catch them. I also know that they're on Telegram. You can find their show on there. That's usually on Tuesdays and Tuesdays and Fridays or Saturdays, one of the two. But you can find those shows there too with Jaffe Ryder. So with that being said, and doing plugs for those guys, I think I am done with all the small talk, and it is time to get into the show. Hope you guys enjoy, and I will get started, I guess. Looks like everything is up and running, so let me just go ahead and get started. Now, the name Giza is the name that popped up with me, and I wanted to go through it or go over that name because it is a prominent historical name in Hungarian history, most notably associated with Giza, the Grand Prince of the Hungarians who ruled in the 10th century. Now, Giza played a crucial role in the early establishment of the Hungarian state and in the introduction of Christianity to Hungary. Now, the name Giza has a significant place in Hungarian history, but it also carries linguistic and cultural implications that may be traced back to both Hungarian and broader Indo-European linguistic traditions. Now, the most widely acceptable interpretation is that Giza is the Hungarian origin and possibly derived from the word uh, Geza, which is thought to mean prince or leader. In some Hungarian sources, uh, now with that, I find that kind of fishy, and I've seen that in a lot of them. Like I believe it might have been in the previous one, or I could be coming up on it in another one. But there, I believe it was in the previous episode. One of the names represented barley. Okay, so for that I could understand it. Okay, because that would mean that maybe this person was named after, like, maybe the trade that the family was into. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he come from a family of farmers who grew barley. You know what I mean? So that made sense to me. But when you get into words like Giza, that represents the word prince, to me it sounds fishy. Or maybe this was the name of a person who had already been a part of the of a group of maybe chieftains or even royalty, like just an actual royalty other than being a chieftain or whatever. It just sounds like he was born into the role, where eventually he would become a prince, because in that region people were generally princes, they weren't kings. But it was Hungarian, so I believe the Holy Roman Empire was headquartered in Hungary at one point. So that's something that really stuck out to me, and you'll see that a lot in in these things, or maybe it was the name of a ruler who they really didn't have the name for. You know what I mean? Because I've also done more research into that region, and I found out that a lot of their history was lost between 500 AD and up until right around 10 AD, maybe 12. Their history is kind of sketchy. I've done research concerning Vlad Dracul, and that's some of the stuff that I've ran into whenever I was doing my research on that. So that was something that I did want to point out. So the interpretation is that Giza is of Hungarian origin and possibly derived from the word Giza, which is thought to mean prince or leader in some Hungarian sources. Now, in this context, the name Giza could be interpreted as the leader or the ruler, a fitting title for a grand prince who played an essential role in the formation of the Hungarian state. So, for me, I would guess that there was a leadership that was formed before the formation of the Hungarian state. So that would actually make sense to me. There are also some theories that Giza might be related to Slavic roots, particularly the word Gaza Gaza, which could refer to a gift or honor, although this connection is more speculative. Some scholars suggest that Giza might have Slavic roots, specifically linked to the word Giza, like I said, which means gift or honor. This theory is based on the interaction between the Hungarians and Slavs in the early medieval period. Given that the Magyars, the Hungarians, had extensive contact with Slavic people during their migration and early state-building efforts, it is plausible that some Slavic linguistic influences could have shaped Hungarian names, including Giza. From an Indo-European perspective, Giza could be linked to names or words that imply leadership or nobility, though it is more speculative. The Indo-European root reg, R-E-G, meaning king or to rule, seen in words like rex, R-E-X, in Latin, and raj, R-A-J, in Sanskrit, which means king. The name Giza could be seen as part of a broader Indo-European tradition of names that symbolizes authority, nobility, and leadership, even if the direct linguistic link is not immediately clear. The name Giza is historically significant due to its association with Giza, the Grand Prince of the Hungarians. Giza was a pivotal figure in the Hungarian history, helping to solidify the Hungarian state and leading efforts to convert the Magyars to Christianity. He was the father of Stephen I of Hungary, the first king of Hungary, who played a crucial role in establishing Hungary as a Christian kingdom in the early 11th century. So he was the father of Stephen I. So that would probably make sense that they had Stephen's the first name, but they didn't quite know what his name was, so they just gave him a a name of nobility. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, back during that time period, history was pretty. It was pretty much lost. A lot of it was. They don't really have very good records of that time period in that region. Um, and I've learned that not just through Hungary, but I've also through Romania, Transylvania, that kind of areas too. I mean, it was very war torn. You know what I mean? There was a lot of fighting going on, and not just against like the Ottomans or the Russians and stuff like that, but among one another as well. So, okay, so as a ruler and leader, the name Giza carries connotations of authority, wisdom, and strength in the context of Hungarian history. Giza's reign marks a key period in the transformation of the Hungarian tribes from a pagan society to a Christian kingdom, and his name is tied to this historic transition. The name Giza is primarily of Hungarian origin, likely meaning prince or leader. There is also a possibility that the name is linked to Slavic roots, particularly the word Gaza, meaning gift or honor. From an Indo-European linguistic perspective, the name could be connected to broader themes of royalty and leadership, though this connection is speculative. Historically, Giza is most famous for the Grand Prince of Hungarians and the father of Stephen the first king of Hungary. The leadership, authority, and the transition of the Hungarian people to the Christian kingdom, to a Christian kingdom. Okay. Now, breaking down the name Giza from the Indo-European perspective requires analyzing its phonetic and possible linguistic components. Given that Giza is of Hungarian origin, the name itself may not have a directly widely accepted Indo-European root, but we can explore potential connections based on the sound and structure. The first part of the name Ge, could be related to various Indo-European roots. A possible connection could be the root Ghe, sometimes written as Ga or Ga, Gha, which is found in languages like Sanskrit, Greek, and Latin. This root often relates to ideas of movement, earth, or being born. In Sanskrit, for example, Jan, Jan, from the root Ghe, means to be born or to create. It could also imply origin or creation in some context. In Greek, the root Gaia refers to earth and is seen in words like geography, earth writing, or geology, earth study. This suggests a possible association with earth or foundation, tying the name to concepts of grounding, stability, or creation. The second part of the name, Za, might be harder to pin down in a specific Indo-European context, but it could be an ending or suffix related to noun formation, or a suffix indicating position. In many Indo-European languages, suffix like a, just a, or us, us, or os, os, were often used to form nouns, especially names, or nouns, especially names. The suffix za might be seen as a variant of such endings. Additionally, za might be connected to the Indo-European suffix so, which often formed objectives or participles. In this case, za could be interpreted as a suffix indicating a state or condition. In some contexts, this might give the name an aspect of being or becoming something, especially in relationship to leadership or creation. Taking the components of the name Giza into account, Ge could refer to creation, birth, or earth. This may imply someone who is grounded, connected to the earth, or a creator figure. It could also relate to a figure who is associated with origins or beginnings, someone foundational or significant in the terms of starting something important. Za might indicate a state of position or something or someone. No, that something or someone holds. It could be a suffix indicating a condition of being, acting, or existing in a certain way. This would suggest that the name could be describing a person who is in a state of leadership, authority, or origin, further emphasizing the role of creation or governance. From an Indo-European linguistics perspective, Giza might be interpreted as someone who is born from the earth or connected to creation with a sense of stability and foundation. The name could suggest a figure of origin, someone who plays a pivotal role in starting or leading something significant. The suffix za or za could imply that the person holds a particular state or position, perhaps as a foundational leader or a figure who is central in the establishment of something important. In this sense, the name Giza could evoke the idea of a founder or a leader, someone deeply tied to the earth or origins, a person who brings about creation or change in a grounded, stable way. So after that, we go to Appa Sambetai. Appa Sambetai is a figure from Romanian folklore, often associated with natural elements, rivers, and the passage of time. The name Appa Sambetai translates roughly to the water of Saturday in English, where Appa means water and Sambetai refers to Saturday, a day of the week. This name is tied to a particular river in Romania, the Apa Sambetai River, which flows through the Făgăraș Mountains in the southern part of the country. In the context of Romanian folklore, Apa Sambetai is not just a geographical feature, but is also imbued with symbolic meanings. The river is seen as a boundary between the earthly realm and the spiritual world, connecting the physical and the supernatural. So yeah, this isn't a person, this is a river. Now, in many cultures, rivers are seen as symbols of life, transformation, and the flow of time. The Apa Sambetai is considered to have purifying qualities, as rivers often do in mythology around the world. The idea of Saturday being associated with the river further ties the river to the concept of a liminal space, or as a liminal space, as Saturday is in some traditions is considered a day of rest, spiritual reflection, or preparation for the week ahead. The river's connection to Saturday could have further ritualistic and spiritual significance in the Romanian context. Saturday is traditionally associated with preparation for the Sabbath, and the day itself carries a certain mystical weight. The river might be seen as a conduit for both cleansing and renewal, where one can cross over into another state of being, both physically and spiritually. Rivers in many cultures, including Romanian, are often viewed as borders between the living and the dead. Apa Simbetai could represent the boundary between this world and the other world, which aligns with themes of Romanian folklore, where certain rivers, lakes, or bodies of water are said to house spirits or the souls of the departed. Crossing such waters may have spiritual implications, such as passage between realms or access of forbidden knowledge. Rivers like Apa Simbetai are also often thought to possess healing properties. In many regions of Romania, water from certain sacred rivers or springs is believed to have the ability to heal physical ailments as well as to cleanse the spirit. This aligns with the broader Eastern European tradition of rivers being linked to healing rituals. The figure of Apa Sembetai and the river itself could be tied to older pre-Indo-European beliefs related to water as a sacred and life-giving element. Water, especially flowing rivers, was often seen as a divine gift, symbolizing fertility, purification, and the cyclical nature of life. This belief system likely predates the Indo-European arrival in the region and could have influenced later interpretations and mythologies surrounding the river. As Indo-European traditions moved into the region, they likely incorporated and adapted early pre-Indo-European beliefs. The Indo-European concept of world rivers, like the Ganges in Vedic traditions, and the spiritual significance of rivers as boundaries between realms may have influenced the later mythological significance of Apa Simbetai in Romanian folklore. Additionally, the river could also be connected to Indo-European themes of the cosmic axis or world tree, with the river symbolizing the flow of life, the passage of time, and the connection between different cosmic realms. Apa Simbetai is a folkloric figure tied to a real river in Romania, but it carries a wealth of symbolic and spiritual meaning beyond its physical form. The river embodies the flow of time, the boundary between the earthly and spiritual realms, and the power of water to purify, heal, and transform. It carries deep mythological significance, blending pre-Indo-European and pre-European traditions, and Indo-European traditions that associate rivers with sacred liminal spaces and connections to the other world. The term Nesfertatool is not widely recognized in mainstream mythological or linguistic texts. However, it could have roots in various traditions, including Romanian folklore, or might be a regional or specialized term from an older or lesser-known mythological tradition. Based on its structure and possible etymology, there may be several ways to interpret or elaborate on it. Let, let me break it down based on its potential linguistics and folkloric components. The name Nefertatatul, Nefertatatul, Nefartatul, seems to be constructed in a way that could be rooted in Old Romanian, Slavic, or pre-Indo-European languages. The root nef could be linked to several potential meanings in various languages. The prefix nef could be related to ni, a common negative prefix in Romanian and other Slavic languages. In this case, it might indicate something that is lacking, evil, or unclean. In some cases, the nef root is found in words meaning sinister, dark, or malevolent, as seen in the Romanian word nesferencire or nesferencire, Nefericire, meaning misfortune or unhappiness. The ending "fartat" seems to have a phonetic resemblance to the Romanian word "fartat", which is not common in modern language but might relate to a form of deception or corruption, potentially alluding to something or someone that has fallen or been corrupted in some way. Alternatively, "fartat" could be a term from a pre-Indo-European language, though without specific documentation it remains speculative. The suffix "ul" is the definite article in Romanian, indicating that the word refers to a specific entity or person, the one or the one who embodies this quality. Thus, Nefertatatul could be interpreted as the one who is corrupted, the evil one, or the malevolent being based on the roots involved. In the context of Romanian folklore or mythology, Nefertatatul could represent a demonic or evil figure, possibly tied to evil spirits, ghosts, or underworld beings. It might symbolize someone who has fallen into corruption, someone who embodies misfortune, or a figure who has been cast out from a divine or natural order. In many Eastern European traditions, there are spirits of misfortune, dark figures, or beings that bring chaos. Nefertatatul might represent one of these entities whose presence in folklore would be associated with bad luck, death, or misfortune. Such spirits are often thought to wander the night, causing harm to humans or representing the darkness of the world. Another interpretation could be that Nefertatu represents a fallen hero or god, a figure who was once noble but became corrupted by greed, power, or sin. In many mythologies, such figures often serve as a warning about the consequences of hubris or falling out of favor with the gods. Given that Romanian folklore often imbues natural elements with spirits or deities, Nefertatu could also represent a malevolent force associated with natural disasters, disease, or environmental decay. The figure could be connected to the death of the death of nature or the decay of the lands, themes which are prominent in many European folk traditions. Given the complexity of this term, there could be connections to pre-Indo-European beliefs, especially if we look at older systems of thought that were deeply tied to nature, death, and the forces that govern life. Many pre-Indo-European cultures in Eastern Europe had a shamanic or animistic worldview, where spirits or deities were believed to inhabit both natural objects and phenomena, and often those connected with death or the underworld had the most significant power. In these older belief systems, malevolent beings like Nefertatu could represent forces of corruption, the degradation of the soul, or the dark forces of nature. They might be associated with a spiritual void, an absence of life, or an entity that corrupts the living world. If we consider Indo-European linguistic roots, Nefertatu might align with terms related to darkness, death, or chaos. In many Indo-European mythologies, chaos or disorder precedes the creation of the world. The concept of a dark or fallen figure also appears in many Indo-European mythologies, such as the Titans in Greek mythology, the Jotnar, or the giants in Norse mythology, or the Asuras in Vedic traditions. In Indo-European traditions, figures who represent chaos or destruction are often trickster figures, sometimes malevolent and sometimes just forces of transformation. The character of Nefertatu might fit into this archetype, being an embodiment of chaos, decay, or destruction. Nefertatu could also be interpreted as a figure that opposes the cosmic order, a common theme in Indo-European mythology, where forces of evil or destruction stand in contrast to the forces of creation and order. The name might then represent the forces of entropy, those that resist the creation of the world and its laws. The figure of Nefertatu is not a widely recognized mythological character in Romanian folklore or Indo-European mythologies, but its name suggests it could be an embodiment of corruption, chaos, or malevolent forces. If it aligns with Romanian folklore, it could be a spirit or demonic figure associated with misfortune or decay. In both pre-Indo-European and Indo-European contexts, it would fit the themes of destruction, death, and the opposition to order in the natural world. The world ocean is a central motif in various mythologies and ancient cosmologies, symbolizing the vast primordial waters that encompass and give life to the world. It often represents a boundary between different realms of existence, as well as the source of creation and destruction. While the concept of a world ocean appears in many cultures, it is particularly prominent in Mesopotamian, Hindu, Norse, and Polynesian mythologies, each offering a unique interpretation. In Sumerian and Babylonian mythology, the world ocean is known as Apsu or Abzu. It is considered a primordial watery abyss that existed before the creation of the world. The Apsu is often depicted as a source of all life and the foundation of the cosmos, representing the male principle in the cosmic order, while the Tiamat is a saltwater goddess represents the female principle. According to the Enuma Elish, the Babylonian creation epic, the gods were born from the union of Apsu and Tiamat. The chaos of the world ocean is separated by the gods, creating order and structure in the universe. The myth involves the gods battling Tiamat, who embodies the chaos of the world ocean, and ultimately Marduk, the hero god, defeats her, splitting her body to form the heavens and the earth. In Hindu cosmology, the world ocean is called Kshira Sagara, or the ocean of milk. This vast cosmic ocean serves as the backdrop for many important myths, particularly the churning of the ocean. In this myth, the gods, the devas, and demons, the asuras, churn the Kshira Sagara in order to obtain the Amrita, the nectar of immortality. The churning of the ocean represents the cosmic struggle between the order, Devas, and chaos, Asuras. The ocean, which symbolizes the source of creation, contains within it both divine and destructive powers. This myth also highlights the duality of the world ocean, as it is both a source of life and a potential force of destruction. The god Vishnu is often associated with the world ocean, where he is depicted resting on a cosmic serpent, Ananta. In this role, Vishnu represents the sustaining force of the universe, and the ocean becomes a symbol of the eternal, undifferentiated substance from which all things emerge. In Norse mythology, the world ocean is closely linked to the concept of Jormungandr, the Midgard serpent. The serpent encircles the world, holding it together by biting its own tail. The ocean in Norse cosmology represents a boundary between the known world, which is Midgard, and the unknown realms, such as the land of the giants. Jotunheim is what that is. The realm of the dead, which is Hell. That's Hel. Jormungandr, the Midgard serpent, is born from the union of the trickster god Loki and the giantess uh, Ang- Ang- Angbroda, Angerbroda, Angrboda. It grows so large that it can circle the entire world and bite its own tail, symbolizing the cyclical nature of time and existence. The ocean, in this sense, represents both the physical and the metaphysical boundaries of the world, separating different realms while also holding them together in an eternal cycle. During Ragnarok, the end of the world, Jormungand no, the end of the world, Jormungandr is foretold to rise from the ocean and fight the thunder god Thor. This battle is symbolic of the chaos that the world ocean represents, with Jumungandr embodying the destructive forces of nature and the ocean itself. In Polynesian traditions, the world ocean is often referred to as the Te Moana Nai a Kiwa, or the Great Ocean of Kiwa, which is believed to be the domain of the ancestors and the spirits of the dead. In these myths, the ocean serves as a boundary between the human world and the spirit world, but it is also a source of life and substance. Tangaroa, the Polynesian god of the sea, is a central figure in many myths associated with the world ocean. He is the creator of the oceans, fish, and sea creatures, and his realm represents both abundance and danger. The ocean is a source of nourishment, but it also has the potential to be perilous, reflecting the duality of life and death in Polynesian cosmology. The Polynesian have a rich tradition of ocean voyaging, and the world ocean in their myths is not only a boundary but also a path to exploration and discovery. The ocean is seen as a conduit for spiritual and physical journeys, representing both a challenge and an opportunity for those who dare to navigate its vastness. Across these various traditions, the world ocean is often seen as a primordial force that represents both creation and destruction. It is the place where the cosmos begins and ends, where the forces of order and chaos are in constant struggle. The ocean is the source of life and the birthplace of gods, but it also has the power to bring chaos and destruction. This duality reflects the cyclical nature of existence, where creation and destruction are intertwined. The world ocean often serves as a boundary between different realms, such as the world of the living and the dead, the gods and humans, or the known and unknown. It is a space of transition where beings can cross between worlds or experience transformations. In many myths, the world ocean represents the chaotic, undifferentiated state that existed before creation. It is often depicted as a vast, formless expanse from which the structured world emerged. The ocean is often associated with the eternal flow of time, where the cycles of life, death, and rebirth are mirrored in the ebb and flow of the tides. This reflects the idea of the ocean as both a beginning and an end, a symbol of the infinite cycles that govern existence. The world ocean is a powerful and multifaceted symbol in world mythology, representing both the source of life and the forces of destruction. It serves as a boundary between realms, a space of transformation, and a symbol of the primordial chaos that existed before creation. Whether it's the Apsu in Mesopotamian mythology, the Kshira Sagara in Hindu cosmology, the Midgard Ocean in Norse mythology, or the Great Ocean of Kiwa in Polynesian traditions, the world ocean is a central motif that connects different cultures and reflects the eternal cycles of life, death, and rebirth. Romanian folklore is rich with ancient myths and legends that often intertwine with broader regional beliefs from Eastern Europe, including themes of the world ocean. While Romanian folklore does not always explicitly describe a world ocean in the same terms as found in Greek, Norse, or Hindu mythologies, the concept of an expansive primordial body of water or a boundary between realms is still very much present in various tales, particularly those related to creation, the underworld, and cosmic balance. In Romanian folklore, there is a recurring motif of primordial waters that symbolize both creation and chaos. These waters are often seen as a source from which the world emerges, akin to the world ocean in other traditions. In some Romanian myths, it is said that in the beginning there was only water, this vast, boundless ocean of primordial chaos. This water is sometimes personified as a great sea or river, which encircles the world, or serves as a boundary between the known and unknown realms. This primordial sea is sometimes connected to the mortai, the spirits of the dead, or to the Fesiora Moria, the Virgin Mary, with the ocean's waters symbolizing the transition between life and death, or between different states of existence. The world's oceans or seas in Romanian lore are often seen as a passage between the living world and the realm of the dead. This is similar to the Greek mythological concept of the river Styx. In some versions of the Romanian folklore, souls are said to cross over a vast body of water, whether a river or ocean, to reach the afterlife. This water can be treacherous, symbolic of the unknown, and is often linked to spiritual purification or transformation. Romanian mythology has a strong connection between water and the underworld. This is particularly evident in tales that describe the Teli, or the Morai, and other supernatural beings. The Teli are water spirits similar to nymphs who inhabit lakes, rivers, and forests. They are associated with the mysterious dark waters that border the human world and the supernatural realms. The Teli are often depicted as beautiful, enchanting women who live by or in the waters. They are sometimes said to emerge from the Kalatorai, a kind of spiritual journey or passage which often involves crossing a body of water. These water spirits can help or harm those who encounter them, depending on how they are treated. In this sense, the water serves as a threshold between different realms, whether the realm of the living, the spiritual, or the underworld. In Romanian myth, water can also be seen as a passageway to the underworld, similar to other Indo-European traditions. The river Olt, or Diambovita, are sometimes portrayed as gateways to the land of the dead, and in certain traditions, the souls of the deceased must cross a river or ocean to reach their final resting place. In this way, the world ocean becomes a metaphoric representation of death and rebirth, as well as a boundary between different states of existence. Some Romanian folk traditions echo creation myths similar to those found in ancient Mesopotamian or Greek mythology. These myths describe the creation of the world from a chaotic, watery state. For example, the cosmic egg motif, which appears in various Indo-European cultures, is found in Romanian folklore in the form of a primordial egg that floats in the vast ocean or sea. The egg contains the world in its early form, and the birth of the world is often associated with the breaking of this egg, symbolizing the emergence of order from chaos. In some Romanian stories, the dragon, often associated with Zimiu, the dragon-like figure in Romanian folklore, is said to come from the ocean or deep waters. This mythical dragon often plays the role of a chaos bringer, similar to the Tiamat figure in Babylonian myth or the Jormungandr in Norse myth. These dragons, in many cases, are linked to both creation and destruction. They may be vanquished by heroes, but their destruction often marks the beginning of a new world order. In Romanian folklore, water is not only a symbol of death and destruction, but also of life. Rivers, lakes, and seas are considered sacred places where divine forces are present. The water of life is a recurring theme in Romanian folktales, often personified as a magical or healing water that can restore youth or grant immortality. This water, like the world ocean, represents both the nourishing and the potentially destructive aspects of the cosmos. In some stories, the hero must find the water of life, a magical water that grants immortality or eternal youth, often hidden in the deep waters of an enchanted lake or ocean. These themes mirror the notion of the world ocean as both a life-giving and destructive force, where crossing its boundaries may bring about either salvation or doom. Romanian folklore often intertwines the concept of the world ocean with the idea of the cosmic tree, similar to Yggdrasil in Norse mythology. The world tree in Romanian mythology is sometimes depicted as growing from the waters or being supported by them, signifying that water and the tree are deeply interconnected in the cycle of life and death. In some traditions, the tree of life grows from the ocean's waters or is watered by them. These No, this tree represents the interconnectedness of all realms, heaven, earth, and the underworld, and its roots may be found in the ocean where it draws its life forces. The idea of the tree of life growing from or being nourished by the waters further reinforces the the duality of the ocean as both a source of life and destruction. Romanian folklore also ties the world ocean to the concept of the afterlife. According to some beliefs, after death, souls must cross a great body of water, symbolizing the boundary between the living and the dead. The idea of crossing the water of the dead is present in many Romanian funeral customs, where water is used to cleanse the body and spirit of the deceased. The water is a symbol of purification, and its connection to the afterlife emphasizes its role as a liminal space between life and death. The waters of the afterlife are sometimes personified as guides, helping souls navigate their journey to the next realm. This is similar to the role of the river or ocean in other cultures, such as the river Styx in Greek mythology or the Kshira Sagara in Hindu cosmology. In these Romanian myths, water serves as both a guide and a protector, offering safe passage to the souls of the underworld. In Romanian folklore, the world ocean is not always described in the same terms as in other Indo-European or world mythologies, but it shares many common themes with these traditions. The primordial waters represents the boundaries between life and death, creation and destruction, and the unknown, and the known realms. So with that, I want to, I'm wanting to stop there on this one because after this, I am going to get into soul customs, which is going to be a pretty good topic to start out on. And I think it would also be a good start for episode 7 of this series that I've been going through concerning the Germanic, Nordic, and Indo-European lore and what's involved with it. So I am going to stop it there, and then when I start on the 7th episode of this, I'm going to start talking about soul customs in Romanian folklore. I didn't know that there was that much there between uh, where I started and where I finished, but it's pretty interesting, to be honest with you. I didn't realize it was that much information. It's getting interesting to me. I'm finding it really interesting. So if you guys have any kind of stuff that you want to relate to it with any comments or anything like that, then feel free to do so. Right now, all I'm getting on Kick is like crap loads of people wanting me to like pay for all these fake subscribers and stuff, but yeah, that's about it right now. Maybe later on I'll be able to get actual comments in the stream section, but Other than that, I have a comment from Mike Sues 4. He says, "Hello, is anyone at home?" Yeah, I'm at home. I'm actually on here talking and doing the stream, Mike Sues 4. Appreciate you stopping by and making a comment. Thanks for doing that. I appreciate the 50 views on the stream. And it says one person is on here, but that was most likely me. They always make it to where one person is actually on there, but it dropped down to 0, so it might not be me. And thanks for the 3 viewers that are on Beam, and also we have 1 viewer on X, and I can't ever tell if there's anybody on DLive. It just never shows, not unless somebody says something in chat. But other than that, that's all we have going. Like I said before I started, if you guys want to stop over in almost an hour, just under an hour, for Dragus production, if you guys want to check out Censorship Sucks. After that, there's a paranormal investigation with a guy that's I know his name is Jack. I believe it is. But he does a pretty good show that you need to check out. He's been going through a lot of stuff concerning cryptids and things of that nature. You can check him out as well. And then after that, there's Nancy Planeta with the Vixen's Vault. And you can have a peek at that. They're all 3 good shows. You can find them on Beam, Rumble, DLive, Twitch, and Kick. I'm pretty sure they aren't on YouTube. And X, I know that Mark, the producer, I know he posts the videos up on there, but I'm not quite sure if they actually do any live streams on there or not. So besides that, also check out WPRPN. They do pretty good shows on Tuesday nights, usually at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. That'd be 11 p.m. Atlantic. Or no, you know what I'm saying. Well, Eastern Time. And then I guess if it was 10, it'd be 7 p.m. Pacific Time. 3 a.m. GMT, that would be over in England. And if you want to know anything about freaking Korea or New Zealand or Australia, I couldn't tell you. I'm still lost on the time zones over there. So that is the best time to catch him. Now, Dragus production usually starts up at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That would be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, like New York, Florida, areas like that. Then you have Pacific, which is California, and that would be at 4 p.m. Then in Mountain Standard Time, that would be 5. No, 6. Yes, 6. 5 or 6. So I believe it's 3 hours behind for Pacific Standard and Central Standard. No, actually, so 7, it would be 5 p.m. I'm believing 5 or 4 p.m. 5 p.m. in California. And then 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Then 7 p.m. here in Central Standard. So, yeah, that's just not even cool. Then you have 12 a.m. over GMT in England. So that took a lot of breath, man. I had to do that just so I could get an hour and a half on the string, because I really do want to get that going. So with that being said, I am going to go ahead and say thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy the show, please like, subscribe, share, make comments. And especially make comments. I love to hear feedback from everybody, So feel free to do that. And with that, I am going to end the show. Thank you.